Are you recording?
That's the red thing.
Okay. So that means I should stand like, where should we stand?
You're good.
Are we in a good spot, both of us?
This is a very wide angle.
Okay.
So.
All right, everybody, welcome to the St. Louis Tri Club monthly meeting. Thank you for coming. My name is Jennifer Meyer, and I am one of your club's coach sponsors. I actually spoke last month, and Sarah and I are just helping tonight kind of run the meeting because our club president, Trevin, couldn't be here tonight. So, let's have you introduce yourself.
And I'm Sarah Tyndall, and I have a very soft voice, so I will try to project a little bit here, but I am the president-elect for next year.
She's been doing triathlon for a while, but and stepped up to fill Trevin's role next year. So before we even get started, well, we're going to introduce you to people that have been in charge of different things within the club as we go along here today. So we'll make sure that we have a smaller group here. We might as well get to know each other a little bit. That'll be a nice way to go about it. All right, so today, Bill, you can move us forward. And everyone, Bill Sanders is our recording, post the meetings. We're very lucky to have him. He's our technology person. Wave, Bill. But it's nice because have you ever watched a past meeting, or posted on Facebook? Because he does put them out there. And so, you know, if you miss a meeting, you can see what happened. All right, so welcome, club updates. That's our big thing today. There's not actually a speaker at this meeting outside of us really going over the functions of the club and trying to help people understand what the club does and get ideas from you. And then, what was the race preview, remember?
You actually don't have any.
We don't have that.
It's on the slide.
And then we always have goodie attendance prizes. So make sure you got a little ticket, which you would get by signing in over at that table. So if you don't have one of those, hop up at any time and go sign in and get yourself a ticket. All right, on to the next. Okay, so let's talk about our committees. Now, we are a very large club. Anybody know what our membership is these days? They said it at the
We have 220, I know, that are actually active on our roster.
Yeah,
it could be more than that.
Yeah, we've had, it vacillates. And we have gone through periods of time where we'd have 70 people at our monthly meeting. As you can imagine, COVID kind of messed up our meetings for a while, and we're still trying to recover from that and create meetings that are useful to you so that you can learn more about the club. So that's one of our goals. But membership meeting, we will let Marion talk about that when she arrives, because she does the membership and she's very good at it, and she can talk to you when she gets here. So communications.
I actually don't really know much about what the
Right.
committee does.
So that does our email, our newsletter, and there's a few other things. Help me out, Dave.
Mike.
And Mike. Just what are some of the things that the communications? It's the newsletter.
Yeah, really any communications with the club that we do, the communications person really needs to know how to use Constant Contact, which is the software that's used for marketing, and it's really good for organizations like ours just to reach out to our membership, because we can send things out through this Constant Contact and actually see how many people opened it, and we can get statistics on, again, how many people open it, and get an idea of whether it's being read and whether we're getting the information. It's very easy to use, but that's probably one of the biggest things I think the communications person who was Dana Harmon most recently has been doing, just learning to use Constant Contact and gather information to send out, whether they be for a quick email that lets people know about a particular thing, or like a monthly newsletter.
So what we talked about, what the board of your club meets always the Wednesday before this meeting. So we had a meeting last Wednesday. And we were talking about how we have a lot of open positions in the club right now. And these are all the committees that the club has had over the years. But Sarah and I were even talking earlier, and we're like, we don't have to have these exact committees. We're just trying to share all the different things the club has done to help you figure out where you might want to get involved in the club. Assuming you're here, which is great, and we have a lot of members, and we would like to get our committees doing a little bit more. So so the communications, I would just say that the newsletter, and like he said, Dana has been in charge of communications, and she also ran this program over the winter called Icy Iron. Is there anybody here that did Icy Iron? Put your hand up if you did that. Yeah. So it's over now, but you can look forward to it next winter. But it's a motivation. You sign up to complete a certain distance, and it's a motivation to get you to train. And so she kind of kept track of that. So basically, one of the things that Sarah and I wanted to do is get any ideas from you about how you think the club could communicate better. We have 2 Facebook pages. We have a public one and a private one. The private one you become a part of, Bill, you might correct me if I'm saying this wrong.
You have a private Facebook group.
Yes.
We also have a Facebook page.
That's right.
which
So we
is
have a public page, which is where he posts the meeting that anybody can see. And then, I said that wrong. And then we have a group that, okay, sorry. But we are open to ideas for how to get the word out about the club. So if anyone had any ideas for communication, we are all in. Maybe you've been in another club that has done something very interesting.
One question, just so people like, and I don't know the answer to this, but how much time per month do people typically spend on? Just because I know, people have time.
Well, no, it's a very good point. So I am a member at large this year on the board. So I don't know if you even know, but our board has a president, a vice president, a secretary, a president-elect, which is Sarah, because she's going to be the president next year, so she needs to be on the board so she learns this year what to do next. Okay, so we got president, president-elect, vice president, secretary, doing the normal things you would expect, and then 4 member-at-larges. Treasurer. Oh, I cannot forget the treasurer.
That's right. Outgoing president?
An outgoing president. Right. Mike was our president last year, so he's still on. And thank you, Dave. You do a good job managing all our money. So basically, we have a meeting the week before this, and that's where we were just talking about all the different committees we've had in the club over the years, and so the different things that our club can do, and we're just looking for more people to be part of that and to give us ideas. But, oh, I know what I was going to say. You said how much time?
Yeah.
Well, what I've noticed since I was on the board a long time ago and the vice president, and now I'm just coming back onto the board, I think what was a good thing was done was a lot of responsibilities were pulled apart. So I think in a way it's good to have these many committees because each one's job is much smaller. Like we didn't have it like that years ago, so people were doing a lot of different things. Right. All right, so group training. How about if you were a member of the club and you were going to take advantage of group training, what do you think you would go to? What would interest you the most?
Well, no, I mean, I think just historically, running is my favorite, so I think that Thursday morning run at Forest Park, that used to be a thing, I don't know if it's
For a long time.
version, and I know you have the Creve Corps Tuesday night bike ride.
Yes.
And then usually there was a Thursday night bike ride at Forest Park.
Yep. Did you do that one too?
I took over for,
Yeah.
Angie, yes. But
It can just be helpful, I think especially for me for biking, having a group, because it's a little intimidating on the roads, I feel like with cars, so sometimes having more visibility for the group could be nice.
Yeah.
So, again, I think, but hopefully, I think it sounds like a wide range of neighborhoods and trying to kind of hit different areas of the city so it's more accessible.
So I know doing stuff during the week is can
constraining for some of us. Would anybody be interested in like a Saturday morning bike ride or a Sunday morning bike ride? Go hit different areas, cause I know there's a nice new Melly Loop where you can get decent hills, there's the Wildwood Loops.
Yeah, I'd like to even try going over to
Illinois,
Illinois,
you've got,
because I hear a lot of
Calhoun,
Millstead and
Calhoun County's got some
MCT
terrible
and all
hills.
that, yeah.
And MCT, yeah.
Yes.
The thing that's been nice, would be nice, is I did try some poor kids and I'm just kind of digging my feedback in them, and biking is a little overwhelming to me. And just getting the mileage, and I'm not like doing the same trail a million times to get in a long ride. So group rides are also like, on the site, people, I don't know if it's updated, but there were like recommended trails, but then it was like glitchy or things, some of them didn't have any maps on them. When I was trying to find like recommended, like.
Is this on the
road-
website?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went there the other day to look, and yeah,
And it was
it's pretty stale.
Yeah, so I like if people have rides that they can like somehow post, like this is
Yeah.
a great ride.
Yeah, I don't know if we could publish,
That's helpful.
put up there some, what are they, DXF files or whatever?
Yes.
Download to.
There are instructions on there on how to provide.
Yes, just, you know,
Yeah.
to add, because people can add their own.
Right.
Yeah, that's where they came from. They come
Yeah.
from,
Oh,
they
people
come from
add.
us
Yeah,
and.
but there was a couple of them from Garmin and a couple from Strava and
Yeah.
some sources.
Irwin set it up such that any format works on
Yeah.
it. And it's an underutilized feature. Those are,
But-
you know,
but some
actual
people-
trails, actual
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
But
have
some
written
people may not
good
be
ones.
that tech savvy to, how do I download this file to my computer, or, you know, I don't know. Some people may just wanna see, I just wanna see a street view of where to go to ride, and that would be useful, I think, too. It's just either.
Well, I'll ask him about it, because it could be maybe that certain routes that people had posted, they've gotten rid of them or something, and that's why it didn't come up anymore. But I do know that,
No.
yeah, go ahead,
No,
Peter.
I was gonna say, Saturday, well, at least for me, and we used to do it a long time ago,
Uh-huh.
is the Newtown rides.
Yeah,
Right,
And
most of
that-
those, yeah.
And that, coincides with the swim, with the Big Shark swim there.
yeah.
Will they do a ride after this one?
Yes.
Yeah, and if you don't swim, we'll ride with you.
So
And run afterwards.
I'm glad he brought that up, and I'm glad that Sarah brought up the Forest Park run. And those are a few things that like people just kind of started. They weren't necessarily running a committee or anything else, but I'm gonna be at Forest Park at 5:30 on Thursdays. And then a few people that worked for them, and yes, it lasted a long time. There was a group of people from the club that were regularly running like that. And the same thing would be if you're going to the Newtown Open Water Swim, to post on the Facebook site, I'm going to ride afterwards. Because we used to have a lot more of that. Like if you post on the Facebook site, I'd like to do a ride of 40 miles this weekend. You know, if people are looking, which I think they are still, or they used to, then people respond, yeah, I'll meet you after the swim, okay? So this is a, you know, kind of ways to contribute that would be so helpful to the club, even if you don't wanna officially take on a committee role. Yeah.
We've never had a requirement in the club to have a Facebook account, okay?
Right.
However, one of the selling points to doing that and
Yeah.
getting in the club private group is exactly what Jennifer just brought up. It's a great spot to, you know, to go in there and say, hey, I'm riding someplace on this evening, anybody else
Yeah.
wanna go?
Yeah, definitely, yeah, but you're right, there are club members that aren't on Facebook, so you certainly can decide, because our website has a lot of great information, but it doesn't have that kind of.
Immediacy.
Yeah, it doesn't have that kind of thing. All right, so there's some interest in weekend rides, so I'd encourage people to post if you're doing that and you would like some people to tag along. And people even put about the speed that you wanna go, you know, and about how far. And, you know, you could put in there, happy to go slower, or hey, I really wanna hold this average, so, you know, if we're together and you can't anymore, I might say, see you later. You know, I mean, that's the whole in bike riding, right? It's either a drop ride or a no drop ride. You know, if you're not familiar with that term. No drop means there's commitment to keeping everybody together, okay? Drop means, you know, sorry, we're leaving, you know? And as long as you know that up front, then nobody's feelings are hurt, right? But I mean, it's reasonable to have both of those, okay? So great, and runs, if anyone, does anybody here run at Forest Park regularly? You know, because honestly,
Anybody Target?
yeah, that run did last a long time, so boy, if you guys started posting again, I mean, there's so many people that live around here, I just think you'd find a buddy. And think of it this way, it's not, you know, it takes time to coordinate to do a workout with someone. I think we all know that. A lot of us do a lot of workouts on our own, right? Because you can do it exactly when you need to. I get it, okay? But also we enjoy sometimes doing a workout with other people, you know? So if you have the chance, like, I'm gonna just start from the visitor center in Forest Park at this time, you know, and you do it on a regular basis, I think you'd get some interest from people, so. Group training, communications, mentoring, we used to, go, please.
So I wanna,
Add more.
circulate that a little more.
Please do.
So group training too, from a committee standpoint, or a chairperson who would be in charge of something like that would be great. To have somebody like that that could make sure that we've got leaders at each of the rides that are, and I'm talking about recurring events. They also could be one-time events. You know, there's sometimes some of the impromptus like you talked about. But also, you know, a couple of times at meetings we did some training as far as talking about transitions and how to change a tire, how to change a flat tire, and that kind of stuff. I consider that as kind of group training as well. Somebody who is in that position could, you know, keep us up to date on some of the, organize some of those events, one-time events, and keep up with the recurring events as well.
Historically, they used to do some food sometimes after.
What's that?
Food, like refreshments.
That's right, yeah. So my Tuesday night rides, I have a cooler in the back of my van.
Oh!
That not everybody, you know, some people need to get going after, you know, because it's starting to get to be 8 o'clock or whatever at night. A lot of people got to get home to kids and all that kind of stuff, but I do have sodas and Gatorade and a little beer in there too.
All right, well, since Marion arrived, do you want me to keep talking so you can eat, or should I let you talk now?
I can talk.
You can talk. Okay. So Marion's going to talk about the membership committee, which she has been taking care of for a long time, because this is a nice opportunity for us to make sure that if you're a new member, that we give you a very nice welcome. All right?
This way?
Thank you.
I'm sorry. All right, so membership basically is a lot of computer work. It's like we set up at the beginning of the year for the renewals, and actually that starts in October of the previous year. So basically what I do is I keep track of our roster. I make sure I update all of the new members that come in, make sure that they get their swag. We have shirts and water bottles for them. And I also try to send out emails as things happen. If people need something, like Dave for his bike ride the other time, he just needed to let the general membership know Facebook is great, but not everybody's on it. So, you know, I did a nice email and got about 5 or 6 people because of the email RSVP for the group ride, and it looked like it was a great event the other night. It was very well attended. So I kind of keep on track with all of the email. We have a mail system called Constant Contact that we can do our mass emails and keep distribution lists. So part of membership is keeping those distribution lists up and active. So as we go from one year to another, we kind of roll off the people that don't renew and add on the new people that do renew. And we try to keep track of those that don't renew so that we can also message them and let them know, hey, you know, we see you haven't signed up again. Maybe you want to come back. Come on over. So it's a lot of computer stuff, a lot of emails to people, especially during the October to January timeframe when we're doing our membership renewal where everything's discounted. That's when most of our memberships come in. It's the busiest time of the year. I usually take care of everything myself. I've had a helper in the past that has kind of helped me at the meetings. They've maybe done the new member introductions. It's hard for me to get here right at 7 because I work until 7 up in Creve Coeur, so I come as fast as I can after that. But, you know, if somebody would like to help me out, you know, the being the face of membership at the meetings until I can get here, or if I can't come, would always be a help. But the rest of the computer stuff, it's, you know, I'd be happy at some point to pass it off to somebody else. But right now, I've kind of got a rhythm. So, but I'm always happy to have an apprentice if anybody would be interested in knowing more, or even just leading the membership discussion or the new member introductions here at the meeting in my absence if I can't be here or monthly. So,
Segue into that, into the new members.
oh, great. Do we have any new members sitting here? You're not a new member. Peter, would you like to introduce yourself again, Peter?
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead.
I'm Peter Gonzalez, and I do triathlons, and I sometimes overdo them in distant countries.
He was in
This month,
Israel.
I was in Israel in January, and tough course. And I've been to Barcelona, and next month I was supposed to go to Mallorca. Was 7.3, I know, but I started a new job, and
Work's getting in the way of
work gets in the
fun.
way.
Dog on that word. Well, welcome, Peter. It's nice to have you. All right. Any other new members? Raise your hand. Right here in the front row, Bob.
Tom Stuckmeyer, got encouraged into getting into doing my first triathlon by my son Jason. Did a 370 Lakeside Triathlon last August and survived, and I'm going to try and do some more. So
Survival is always a good thing.
Welcome.
I don't know if you heard about how awful, Peter, you could probably tell about how awful the weather was at Lakeside 370 for the triathlon. that they-
MSE lost all their tents, and you know,
They were there
so
that Saturday night.
Saturday night when the tornado hit, for the, you know, the wind and all that. So about 50 people showed up Sunday morning at 6 to help clean up and try to organize something there, and they did.
You never know what you're gonna get weather-wise. Jason, are you
Yeah,
also?
so for the first meeting, so. I'm Jason Stuckmeyer. I joined the Triathlon Club last summer, and last year was the first year doing triathlons, did 3. Planning on doing a few more this year. Just enjoy health and wellness, and the community that we have here is very much in alignment with the values that I have, so appreciated getting to know several of you, and I look forward to getting to know more of you.
Any other members sitting up? Yes, stand up.
I'm Ellen Salmo. I'm new. I just joined a few months ago, or a month ago. I did some Olympic distance triathlons before kids, like 2008. And now that I have some time, my kids are in school, I decided to try again. I'm going to do the St. Louis Triathlon at the end of May, and then hopefully do a half in Des Moines in June.
My name is Brett Bayer. I did, for the last 2 years, I've done 3 triathlons. So I'm still kind of getting into it as well. And I'm really working on the bike, and I'm better at running and swimming.
Great. Anyone else? For all you new members, I'm sure that they talked maybe about our sponsors, but if you want to work on the bike, Power Up is a new sponsor. You can go out to Big Shark in Chesterfield and actually have training sessions with them. They'll put you on a trainer, give you a plan. So make sure you look into our sponsors, Big River, Big Shark, Power Up, on all the race partners as well.
I have to say, I went to Big Shark to get the free bike fitting. It was phenomenal. I could tell like a huge difference by riding afterwards. So if you've never done it, it's included in your membership.
Exactly.
So it was a wonderful perk.
That's great.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people
Yeah,
don't
really
realize
nice.
that, and that's a great benefit for sure.
And when you get super serious, we have coaches, a lot of coaching, such as Jennifer. She's a coach. There's several others too that are available for coaching.
And that's one of the nice things about having the recorded sessions, which just started with COVID, you know. So, but if you wanted to go back through old meetings and, you know, see different speakers and stuff that we've had, it's there. We never had that before. So that's been a nice thing for me, because even as a coach, I've done different presentations on different topics, and then I end up sending them to people later because it's appropriate and it's still around. So that's a nice option.
Did you have something, Peter?
Yeah, Big Shark is a really nice sponsor. They, for the new members, they have a race in Newtown in August. And
July.
July.
Don't want to miss it.
And in the past few years, they have given us 50% off. So. Yes.
And we will have the 50% off this year. It's kind of.
We will have it?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so.
It's kind of, you know, it's kind of like a little extra little benefit. We kind of chip in with Big Shark to give you the extra discount. So we're doing that again this year. So we'll, as long as money holds out, we'll try to continue it. But if money goes, we might have to make you pay. We always get 15% off though. That there's always a race discount with them as well as Big River and all of our sponsors. As a matter of fact, there's 2 race entries for Tri Illinois that are up on the table there. Free entries. All, you know, not a penny out of your pocket. It's going to be a little chilly, but free race. Free race. There you go. Courtesy of our sponsor, Racemaker Productions. So,
Thank you.
all right.
So membership, Marion has it under control, but if that's something that appeals to you, she sounds very eager to have you help her
Yeah,
somehow.
yeah. And also, any of new members are here today. We have swag for you in the back. So after the meeting is over and you're just socializing, you can come by and pick up your tech tea and your water bottle. All right?
Thank you. Thank you. So group training, mentoring, we kind of talked about. They were a little separate before because group training was specifically the Forest Park Run, the bike ride at Creve Coeur, and we have had some mentoring people that organize certain training sessions. But I agree, it's kind of similar, and that's a perfect example of. At one point, there were 2 committees, but it certainly could function somewhat as one. And you want to say anything about that?
Well, I was gonna say, people could even join together if you're intimidated just doing it individually, like maybe if you've got friends, you know, do it together.
Yep.
To lead those.
Yep. Now, the social committee, we've had some good organizers of that in the past that, first of all, we have a great winter party every year in December, November and December. And so that's part of what the social committee person might do, although in the past I think various other people did that too. But we have had people who really got into the social planning of different events. We used to have people go after our meetings, go out for a little while, but certainly at the different races. We do have a tent that goes up at a lot of races, so that's a place where you can hang put your stuff when you're outside of transition, and generally someone from the club also provides some refreshments. So we definitely try to have that tent at. Bill, you do it a lot, don't you? He brings it.
There will be
a lot of races.
There is, in fact, okay, not reflected up here, a group, and as Jennifer says, a lot of these things just grow organically. There's a Facebook group called Tent Haulers. And basically what it does, it's we have 3 tents and the various accoutrements that go with them, and we essentially coordinate getting them out of storage and out to the various races and so forth. There will be one at Tri this weekend, and there will be one at St. Peter's at the Recplex. Right.
So please, if you're at a race, stop by the tent.
It's gathering place. Throw stuff there and see people.
It's great. It's so nice.
And some of the events we bring some refreshments and
Yeah, but every race, that's just been such a great way to meet people. If I go, I mean, I joined the club a long time ago, but in 2003, when I went to the first meeting, that was my motivation, is I was doing races and I didn't know anybody at the races. So I'm standing around, introducing myself to people, but it was so nice to see people I knew at the races. And, obviously if you stop by the tent, that's gonna be one way to start, like, meeting people besides here at these meetings.
We'll even eventually teach you the individual personalities of the 3 tents. They're all different.
Okay, volunteering. Oh, we have another slide coming. Oh, and clothing. Okay, so we do have club kits. Some of the old ones are back here. They have been ordered for the year, so they will be ready for kind of our first local triathlon, which is Rookies and Rock Stars out at Recplex on May 7th. Who is doing that? Oh, all right, get some hands up here, okay? So if you ordered a kit from the Tri Club, it should be in by then. If you were not able to order one, at some point we'll do another one, and then there's also some gear left over from previous years if you need something.
It's fairly discounted.
And it's discounted. So that's the clothing, and we generally, we haven't always done new kits each year. Kind of depends on how much need we have, but periodically over the years we have ordered new clothing for the club. All right, I guess we should go to the next slide. All right, okay, so we have a volunteer series, and these are the races that are part of the volunteer series. Would you like to talk, or can I say a few words and you can add? You don't care? Okay, I'm looking at Mike. Don't be insulted. You can add whatever you want to it. Okay. So first of all, I want to tell you that we had a member of the club for a long time named Greg Wilkerson, and that's why it's called the Wilkerson Volunteer Challenge. And what's he doing these days? We should have him come to a meeting and say hello to everybody. Is he doing well? How's his health?
He's doing okay.
Okay.
He's not going to be able
Yes.
to.
He can't do tries anymore. He had some health issues, but he was a very active member of the club. So we've named our volunteer challenge after him. And if you have never volunteered at a triathlon, I highly encourage you to do it. And I really enjoy volunteering on the water, which if you can paddle a kayak, it is such a good experience for learning what goes on out in open water. Don't do it if you are not good in a kayak though, because I did have a guy almost pull me in because he was uncomfortable, okay? But at any rate, you learn so much volunteering at a triathlon, in transition, out on the course, it is so valuable. So I really recommend that. So these series, as you can see, we have points assigned, and you get one of those cool chairs, which would be handed out at the end of the year party if you earn so many points. And we also let you volunteer at other triathlons and just report, hey, I volunteered at, like, what's one that's not up there? Try.
Litchfield.
Right.
Carlisle.
And so it's a self-reporting honor system. You tell us you volunteered at that, and you would get a point. And as you can see, the ones in bold there, that's the Newtown Triathlon, which is in July, the Big Shark puts on, and they're our biggest sponsor. So we really try to get a lot of volunteers for that race, so that's why we have the extra points. Although that's also their race too, Chain of Rocks duathlon. Anybody doing that one? Oh, you got a few people. Okay, it's a really fun little triathlon, little duathlon if you're interested. Anything else about volunteer series? Yes, Mike, what do you need to add to what I said?
Really quick.
Please do.
4:30, that's a week from Sunday, is Chain of Rocks Bridge Duathlon. So please sign up. We really need some more volunteers. So, Chain of Rocks Bridge Duathlon is Chain of Rocks Bridge, if you're familiar. We're on the Missouri side there.
It's a later starting time.
Illinois side?
Illinois side. Starts on the Illinois side.
For these events, are we volunteering through the club or just through the site? Like through the, whoever's.
So it's going to depend on the race. So for Chain of Rocks Bridge right now, that's a Big Shark event. Big Shark has a Sign Up Genius out there. So just go to our volunteer tab on the website, and you'll be able to get a link to whatever it is that we're going to sign up on. If it's Sign Up Genius or if we have something separate, please just sign up there, and we'll keep track of points by going out to that same tab. There will be a self-report, and just self-report.
You can also go to the race page for Chain of Rocks, and there is a volunteer button there that will also take you to the sign-up sheets.
No, it's a really good question because volunteering is handled differently for different races. But if you just went to the race site and there was a way to do it there, do it, because you're going to self-report on our website that I volunteered at these races. But sometimes, like Devlin coordinated a group of us to volunteer at the Go St. Louis Half and Full Marathon, and they just wanted to deal with one person, and we dealt with him, so we didn't go to their website and sign up. So sometimes, but you should hear about that hopefully like through the Facebook page or a meeting or something like that.
I thought that Mike just said that if you go to the volunteer tab, that every one of these races would give you
Okay.
instructions on how to volunteer. Is that true or not true?
We'll try and make it so. Right now, I think all the links that we have when the sponsor, so for instance, for Big Shark, if Mike puts out, Mike Weiss, we're talking about from Big Shark, if he puts out a sign-up genius, then I will try and give that to somebody who has access to the website and get it on there. We'll one way or another, please, we'll get this information out there as soon as we get it.
I'm with her. I'm looking for, let's see, there are multiple sponsors of multiple
Yeah.
races up here, all handle it differently.
Yeah.
Okay, and being able to go to our website and tell us as a member of the club, you know, this is for this specific race, do this, for this specific race, do this, would be a very helpful thing.
That's what we'll plan to do, so.
And for sure, on each of these club's race pages, if we have something from the vendor about volunteering, the link will be on the race page for sure. Whether it's on a volunteer page, I don't know. I have to look and see if we put anything on the volunteer page. But definitely, I'm putting them on the races themselves. So
Okay.
go to the race page, and you should see a volunteer link.
Cool.
Please come, let me know. I'll look at the whatever the sign up mechanism is. I'll keep an eye on it. I'll bring out plenty of vests. Please try, see me, and wear these out there. They're very visible. They really are important for making us look like we are a very vital, official part of the triathlon community. So it's a really big help. Also, here's a live view of the chair. For anybody who gets 8 points, these things are killer. Everybody needs a chair. And we'll get these exact chairs for all those who are able to get 8 points. Plus, if you get more than that, believe me, we will take care of you. We appreciate all the people volunteering. It's extremely important. Just like Jennifer said, Big Shark is our biggest sponsor. It's very important that we take care of them. Chain of Rocks Bridge Duathlon, I really need some people to sign up. So the information's out there. Please sign up.
And honestly, I mean, I could be wrong about this, but I think we make a real presence on the volunteer scene at races of maybe any of the clubs and teams around. You know, St. Louis Triathlon Club is visible volunteering, and the race directors and, you know, our sponsors really appreciate that. So, and plus it's just fun. It's fun. If you can't do every race. I learned that early on. I did too many. You know, and so then you can go and volunteer on the ones you can't do, you know, and that's a really fun thing to do. Bill, I can't do anything without you.
Very quickly, can I mention Icy Iron real quick?
Go for it.
We were talking about some of the committees that we are going to need help with. We are going to need somebody to take over Icy Iron. Dana Harmon has lived in Columbia, Missouri, and done this for the last few years, and we need somebody local now. She's feeling like it's a little difficult to do this over the miles, so the Icy Iron is that do we use the word off season? Is that okay? So
Yeah,
it's-
we talked that it's over, but it's a great motivator.
Yes,
Highly
indeed.
encourage you to do it.
So it's that opportunity to become accountable for getting your swim, bike, and run during those winter months. So it's a mechanism out there to log your points, and that's the big thing for the Icy Iron coordinator is just kind of watching the spreadsheets, help set up.
And it takes place in the winter when you're not so busy with races. So you could mull this over and decide to be the Icy Iron coordinator by about October.
This is right up your
By
alley.
about October.
Yes.
Peter.
I'm sorry
Right.
if anybody else wants to
sorry.
talk to me
Fight for
about
it.
it, but otherwise,
Fight for it.
but just wanted to mention that. Thank you.
Yes, no, that's.
I'll be talking to you.
Mike, that's your slide.
It's your-
Okay. I know that we got contacted by DASA about some other opportunities, so I think everything is mentioned here. Please take a look and see if this is something that you'd like to get involved with. There's a contact right here.
Yep. DASA has been around as long as I've been doing triathlon locally, and they do lots of sports besides triathlon. So this is actually track and field. This isn't even triathlon, but it is really exciting to see how many kids they have out for it. In the early years, a number of us would shadow various athletes through some triathlons, and that was really a great experience to do. But I don't even know if
Still do.
they're still
Oh,
doing
yeah.
that because it seems like they have such a built-in support network. They don't ask us as much anymore. But, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I did get to swim with someone a few years ago. That was cool.
There, I'm sorry, I have to throw something out here because I've done a few of these. One thing that you'll find with a lot of race directors is that as a triathlete, you are suddenly very popular. Okay, and I mean, a perfect example is being a bike marshal. You know, someone who rides their bikes during running races because A, you understand running, and B, you've got a bicycle. Okay. And if you have sometimes, for example, you know, DASA, you know, does have athletes who are doing a triathlon. Sometimes they can't swim. Okay, if you're shadowing them on the run and the bike, you also wind up doing the swim for them. So you have this magical volunteer power. You know, due to the skills that you have, which is very helpful and very appreciated.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. No, it's a great organization. They're quite established. They've been around for a long time. So, I think that if this was interesting to you and you wanted to get involved, I'm pretty sure it would be, fairly organized and stuff because they're not brand new. They've been around a while. So, cool. All right. Okay, so this was, we already talked about Icy Iron. This was the gimme, the freebie that you got if you finished what you committed to. So at some point those are gonna come in, and if you finished your Icy Iron, come to the next meeting. Will we have them at the next meeting?
Yes, we
Okay.
will. They're
So
already,
we'll have them at the next
I
meeting.
believe they're on their way.
Okay, good. And then you can, next year, you will wanna do Icy Iron to get something like that wonderful water bottle. All right, go ahead, next thing. Oh, go ahead. Whoops. So typically, we've had a speaker at our meetings. We cover some club business, which we're doing a lot more of at this meeting. And then we have someone come from one of our sponsors or one of our coaches, or we've had outside speakers come in. So, we definitely try to have new information presented to you all But today's feature presentation was us just covering all the ways to get involved in the club. What is this
You
slide?
talked about this.
Yes, we already did.
You did this
Okay,
already.
I already did it.
Mhm.
Alright. Can you think of anything else we need to say?
Jennifer,
Yes.
as far as news, I'm in Texas Saturday, and we have one club member racing in. Alan Brown. I don't
Okay.
know him.
That's good to know. I don't
Somebody
know
knows
Alan.
Alan Brown.
Anybody know Alan Brown? But yeah, I'm glad you
Yes.
looked that up. That's good to know. That, as a matter of fact, that's a wonderful thing that we have on our website, is races listed and an ability for you to RSVP and say that you're doing a certain race. And it is, I try to remember to do it. Sometimes I'm a little late doing it, but I do, because then you find out who else is gonna be there with you, right? And that cool thing too is if we have at least 10 people from the club doing a race, then we call it a destination race, and there's some additional support from the club that comes with that. Okay, but there's no way we'd know if 10 people were doing a race if people don't RSVP. So if you have your race calendar set for the year, jump on the website and go there and RSVP for the races you're doing, and then you can see who else is.
Is there a distance to that?
What's that?
Is there a distance?
For the
There is,
destination?
it's like
Yeah, and a
400 miles,
distance,
like
yeah, sorry.
something, 4 hours of driving,
4 hours.
something like that.
Yeah, sorry, there is some definition of a destination race. So like St. Louis Triathlon would not count for that.
Yes.
Jennifer, can I throw in a
It's
couple
not very
things,
far.
a couple of things about that
Go for it.
feature? First of all, we tried to make the language very clear that when you use the RSVP feature, that is not signing up for the race. That's why I have a button on there that says, you know, race website and registration. So it's for club use, and it's also the reason why you have to log in to the website in order to use it, because it's something that's, we put behind the privacy firewall. Okay, so other members of the club can see that you're doing this race, and if you're not a member of the club, you don't get to see it. So.
And speaking of destinations, we're trying to make the 70.3 Ohio a destination.
Yeah, good luck, you got 2 so far.
Technically, we have 8 if we
No,
remember the RSVP.
technically, you have 2.
Is that the one you jump off the ferry?
No.
You jump off the ferry? Yeah, that's what they do, it's up in Sandusky now.
Yeah.
They moved from Columbia to Sandusky,
Right.
and you jump off the
Oh,
ferry
so
to
you
start
jump off.
And it's one of the flattest races you'll ever race.
Oh.
It has,
It's
I
like,
think it's
who
like,
resist jumping
300
off
feet
the
of
ferry?
elevation on the bike and maybe 100 on the run.
So there's at least 3 of us here doing it.
So myself, Trevin, the Duchecks, Marion, Dave,
What's the
And
date?
Marion and Devin.
July
aren't
24.
I got that. I will.
Get in the book,
I
sign
promise. She was got good
July
information.
23rd.
July 23rd, okay, so it's the Sunday after. And I know like the Duchecks are going to Cedar Rapids the following day.
Yeah, it's right by the amusement park.
Mhm.
All right, well, we talked about volunteering. We talked about clothing and options. We talked about mentorship. I guess we should have kept going through the slides. Let's see what it says up here. But there's some of, this is what Dave was talking about, is some of the little trainings we had in the meetings to teach people how to do various things. Yes, Trevin taught us how to change a flat tire and blew it up, gave himself a pinch flat. But that was a good training.
It's up on
It was an
YouTube. It's
excellent
great.
training. It was very
The
funny.
tire almost bounces back into frame, I think. too.
Oh my gosh, that was great.
We went over a transition clinic.
Yep. Cool. All right. Group training, oh my goodness. Oh, there I am giving a swimming clinic. So if you have not been out to the Whispering Hills swimming pool that the club rents from 8 to 10 on Sunday mornings, and so you know, there's plenty of room always to swim, you just show up and do your own swim workout, but I have done a bunch of different swimming clinics there in the past. And there's the other things we were talking about. Oh my goodness, we didn't do a very good job going through the slides. All right, go on. Social, yes. There's our picnic. We used to do a picnic. that's fun. We could do that again sometime. We got
We
somebody.
still have the trikes.
We stole the
We
trikes.
still have the velocities, yes.
That was really
I
hard.
think we had
I
trikes.
remember doing the tricycle races. Membership, which Marion talked about for us. Go ahead. If you're interested. Oh, board@stlouistriathlon.com. And from the website, you can get to us too. But really, don't hesitate to, send an email if you have a suggestion on something you think the club could do. If there's something you could do and it's just a one-time little thing or whatever, any way that you think, we're always looking for new ideas.
There's one other, so we do have some equipment too, like the bike boxes.
Good.
Is something available to everyone? If you're doing a race somewhere and you need to take a flight,
Yes.
we have boxes that for free.
That you just
check
have
them
to
out,
reserve
and
to use.
You gotta take your bike apart and put it in this box, and then it can travel as
Yeah.
as a piece of luggage or whatever.
There's a link for those on the website, one of the drop-down menus.
Yes.
You can use to reserve them.
Yeah. And if you're having any trouble on the website, which Bill mentioned, but I'm gonna just say it again, sometimes you forget that you have to log in, okay? Because you see so much on the website, and then you're pulling things down and you're looking at things and you're like, oh, why is it not working? So just remember that it usually tells you, but if you're not paying attention, log in, and then everything is active and everything works like you want it to.
The two things in particular, the logging, we talked about to find out who else in the club is doing a race, and the other is the discount codes.
Yeah.
Those are I think the two biggies.
Yeah. All right,
That's
anybody have any questions? No? Okay. I would like to, we just have a little bit of time. I would like to could we just go around and everybody say two things, your name and one race you're doing this year. Please. Because it would be so nice, I never get to meet everybody, but it would be so nice to do it. And so I'm gonna put you on the spot, and you go first.
I'm Bob Erickson. I'm doing Try this Sunday.
Yay! Okay. All right.
Peter Gonzalez, I'm doing Try this Sunday.
Okay, perfect.
You cheated out of his homework.
Did you RSVP on the website?
We got two.
I'm Derek Winkle. I'll be volunteering at Try this Sunday.
All right.
So I'm not be racing this year. I just got back from surgery on my foot, so no racing this year. I actually put on my foot. And actually put on my foot.
I'm Erica Martwinsky, first race is Rookies and Rockstars.
All right.
Good race.
Even though we heard your name, you can say it again.
Ellen Salmo, I'm gonna do the St. Louis Triathlon, race May 21st.
All right, and I'm going to repeat for everybody in the. Ellen is doing the St. Louis Triathlon. Erica is doing Rookies and Rockstars. Derek is volunteering at Try. Peter is doing Try, and Bob is doing Try, and
Peyton, my name's Peyton, I'm doing Chain of Rocks.
oh, great. All right, Peyton is doing Chain of Rocks, and right behind Peyton,
Brad Lorison, I'm doing the St. Louis Triathlon version.
Brad's doing the St. Louis Triathlon.
I'm Dan Sobar, and I'm doing the Chain of Rocks.
All right, Dan's doing Chain of Rocks.
I'm JB Tyndall. I'm doing Memphis in May.
JB.
Oh, right.
Yeah, JB is doing Memphis in May. Oh my goodness, we all used to do that years ago. That's exciting. Are you doing it too? Okay, cool. All right, let's see. Way over here. You guys want to participate?
I don't want you to judge me. What are you doing?
This is other members of the family. All right, I'll leave it
You
alone.
don't want to say
It's fine.
Rookies and Rockstars on May 7th.
Oh, cool. All right. That's Devin. All right.
All right, Marion Holtz, and I'm doing the Highland Biathlon, which is a little-known maiden race over in Highland, Illinois.
On Memorial Day.
Yeah, I think that it is a Saturday race.
It's
That way I
been
can
on
be in the
Memorial.
full
Oh, then it's not on Memorial Day. But it's on Memorial Day weekend. But that race has been around forever.
Yeah, it's I did it for the first time last year. It was very fun. They've got two distances. You actually run first and then bike, and that's it. No
Yeah, you're
swim
done.
involved.
All right, Mike, what do you have coming up?
Try this Sunday.
All right.
It's gonna be a nice, interesting, weather, so I'm hoping that we get some other people who are interested, since we have some registrations for Try this Sunday.
Yeah.
We'll just be ready for, some challenging temperatures, but it's gonna be fun. It's a great event.
All right. Dave?
I too am doing try.
Dave's doing try. All right, we have a good turnout.
I'm signed up for, many races this year.
Yeah.
And mainly, Ironman, Sandusky with like.
All right, the 70.3.
Several of us are doing Sandusky.
So that's Dave, and Dave's doing lots of races, including the try. And let's see if I can remember. Is that Brad? Brett. Okay, thank you.
And I'll be doing the St. Louis Triathlon.
Brett's doing St. Louis Triathlon.
I'm D-Check, I'm doing Try Illinois.
Adam's doing try.
And Chica, I'm volunteering at Try.
Yay! Des Moines 70.3, wonderful. And what's your first name again? Jen, yeah. Just want to make sure everybody goes. Okay. Good.
I'm Norma. I haven't signed up for anything yet. I didn't think it was the one before, but
And
I'll
it's
see how it is on the bike first. I haven't been on the bike yet.
And it's Norma?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Brad. I shouldn't be here. I'm just doing the swim part for the relay for the St. Louis Triathlon. So.
That's me.
Yeah, it'll be my first ever triathlon. So.
Yeah.
Fun.
I'm Andy, and I'm doing Litchfield Triathlon.
No, what's your whole name?
Litchfield.
I'm Andy Potts.
Are you? Oh, that's so great. Okay. Andy, are you doing Litchfield in September?
Yes.
Okay. I thought you were going to say you were doing the bike and run for the race. Your neighbor is doing, but okay. Go ahead.
Devil Murray, and the only one I think I'm really signed up for so far is Ohio.
Devlin is
And
doing
Litchfield.
Ohio. All right.
See, I'm Bill. I'll see you all this weekend. I'll see you Rookies and Rockstars. But I have to give the extended play answer. I'm filling in a couple slots on races I've wanted to do, and so at the end of the year, I'm going to do Rocket Man Huntsville, which is an Olympic, and Atomic Man, which is a half in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and that's because if I can talk Peter and Marion, who have also done Rocket Man Florida. If we've already done that, then we would have a geek trifecta. We will have all the nerd medals.
It's not going to be hard to talk him into it, though.
Right.
Hilarious. All right, Bill's doing Rocket Man. All right.
I'm Jason Stuckmeyer. There's a short indoor one at the YMCA this Sunday coming up, and then following that with Rookies and Rockstars on May 7th.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jason.
I'm Bob Stuckmeyer. I'm also doing the YMCA one this Sunday, and hoping to get the new 10 on the 37 website.
Sure. Which YMCA is that?
Edward Jones.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know they.
They have a different dash, yeah.
Oh, that's new.
Sarah Tyndall, and yeah, definitely Memphis in May, and I may do either East Bridge or Rockstar. Cool. I'm the queen of signing up and then checking out, so I've been waiting to sign up until the week up. Makes a little bit more sense. Yeah, more excited.
All right, and I'm Jennifer, and I just actually didn't plan this, but it's good. I'm lucky me. I'm going to Spain to the World Championships. I race on May 1st in Ibiza Island off of Barcelona. Wow. So that's lucky me. That is a aquathlon, which is swim to run, which usually is with Olympic distance. That's what I usually go to Worlds in, but this year they pulled them apart. So I don't know who they think can make 2 trips to Europe in 1 year. That ain't happening. But I had to pick one, and I was like, I think I want to go to an island off the coast of Barcelona. That sounds kind of nice. So, and I don't have to bring my bike. It's the first time I've ever gone to the Worlds and not had to travel with a bike. So I'm kind of like, I could get used to this. Although I like the bike.
So that means you can run fast.
I know. I hope so. So I'll tell you. So I can tell you more about that event next time. Stop me, and I'll tell you more about it. But thank you so much for your attention. Thank you for coming to our meetings. Thank you for supporting our club. It's a great club, and we have all these wonderful drawing things. We always have. Okay. So bunch of different things from
For
Big
sponsors.
Shark,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
2 free
Each of our
races.
sponsors.
Oh, heavens, yes.
Yeah.
You could say a little bit and I'll add a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Big Shark, we've been running, I think, 2 of the biggest ones.
She was there for it.
Yeah.
The ones that came with it.
I don't know too much about the other
Just really have to say.
And then, of course, Power Up's new this year, I think.
You know that we have MSC and Racemaker gives us discounts to race entry, so please be logged into the website, you can find that out. Coaching sponsors, we do different clinics for you. Yes, Big River Running, if you need running shoes, you always get a discount twice a year. We have a special buy where it's an even greater discount.
When's the next one?
The next one will be
September.
in the fall. September. They're September and February. Big Shark, you always get a discount there. And Hogan gives us money.
Yes, they do.
They're wonderful. Is that you? Andy Potts? No. I thought you said that, sorry.
That's
Nice of her.
Power Up is out of Big Shark. It's the cycling studio for training. Colby Co does our website. Dogfish, they do a lot of race shirts around town.
Athletico is a big sponsor.
Sorry, Athletico here.
And they usually come to all our meetings, and Elena apologized she could not be here
Yes.
tonight, but she comes at 6:30 and will assess anybody for
Thank
free at the
you.
meeting.
Yes, that
You
is
can
so
also reach out
helpful.
and get an actual assessment if you've got some sort of aches and pains. I reached out and had one a couple years ago when I was having an issue with my Achilles tendon, and they did me good.
But yeah, it is great because she is always at the meetings, and so you can come here and get something to eat and say, I've had this pain, do you think I should get it looked at? And she'll kind of tell you yes, or maybe give you some suggestions. So that's very useful. Yes, thank you to the sponsors. They keep us going. Yep.
One more thing.
Yes.
MSE is having a race this Saturday in Defiance, and if you volunteer, they'll give you a wine glass, and you can go to certain wineries
And get wine.
and get wine. Oh, volunteer.
Volunteer, get a free wine glass and get free wine on Saturday through MSC Racing. It does have a clever name. Drink Mo Wine.
Yes.
Mo Wine. All right, so if you're a new member, get your goodies. Check out our